repair there, because John Robertson likes to play off the last defender in a flat 4, so I think Hibs are trying to counteract that.
The discipline is in charge of Bobby Tate. They have been fiery encounters, although Jim Duffy has been pointing out that the way to beat Hearts today from the Hibs point of view is by out-footballing them, not trying to physically out-fight them.
Yeah, these are usually tough occasions, the derby games here in Edinburgh, and sometimes there's a bit of needle, but I think the team selections have reduced that prospect a bit, Martin.
Well, the statistics for Hibs are very worrying. No away victories at all in the Premier Division throughout the year of 1997. They've lost their last 7 away from Easter Road, and 14 matches anywhere since they last walked off as winners. But you do feel in their position that much is in the mind, and if they were to get a good start, backed by well over 3,000 fans in a ground that now holds just over 18, that they could produce what would be regarded as a major upset. Hearts going into 1998 in this fixture, overwhelming favourites. Harper, in goes Sean Dennis, and Rousset struggling to get there with the punch. He was being fouled, and it's a free kick to Hearts. Andy Walker trying to inconvenience the goalkeeper.
Yeah, that resulted from an excellent short corner, but Rousset, I think, was impeded a bit by Andy Walker there, as you see. Although Andy's initial intention quite clearly there's to go for the ball, but he blocked the goalkeeper and the free kick was given.
There is a blustery wind around Edinburgh today, but the steepness of the stands at either end of Tynecastle will just keep some of that really hindering the players. What they have got to help them is a crackling atmosphere here. Here's Boko. Well, it certainly looks like 3 at the back for Jim Duffy, with Dennis in between Boko and Dodds.
Yeah, Sean Dennis has given a bit of depth as well, which I think will be needed, because Robertson there and Adam are quite quick in the shot run through, so Sean Dennis has given the depth, and you're quite right, Willie Miller is wide out here looking after Neil McCann at the moment.
Oh, Jim Jeffers rewarded for 2.5 years of real progress in the capital city with a contract that keeps him and his assistant Billy Brown here to 2002.
Yeah, a very wise decision by the Hearts board, I'm sure, because these two have a superb record. Everywhere they go, they do very well. And the Billy Brown, and now we see Jim Duffy getting agitated early on.
Well, wondering how far he's going to get into the second year of his stint in charge of Hibs, which in terms of matches starts today. The first year began with an Edinburgh derby and a 4-0 defeat for Hibs. So often their scourge, John Robertson. Extraordinary tally of 26 goals for Hearts against Hibs. I wonder they brought him back today. Poynton. Cleared by Boko. This is Ritchie. Quickly to Locke. Salvatore is going to the right-hand side. Locke looking in the opposite direction. Really, Hearts almost had too many players, and because of that, looked as though they were getting in each other's way. In fact, a free kick is given against Jackson, and I think Jim Jeffers would be quite relieved about that. There's a break on.
Yeah, there was a break on, and it was a softish foul, but quite clearly Bobby Tate was right beside it, and the experienced referee gave the foul correctly.
There's Andy Dow. There's a risky ball really played into midfield in his own half. Jackson had a problem. Adam! And well stopped by Reid. Robertson following in, typically. Boko was lucky. He didn't really make decent contact, but it's brought away by Miller. And the very worst thing for Hibs, you feel, here would be to go a goal down early on with their fragile morale, and Hearts with so much incentive to take this game by the scruff of the neck. Jim Jeffries really with one major worry before the game, and that was to make sure that the players realised that they had to go and win the game, that the league table wouldn't do it for them.
No, and if anyone can do that, it's Jim. That was the save by Chris Rein, a magnificent save from a very fine shot, and as you say, it could have been a disaster had that gone in for disaster for Hibernian early in the game to lose a goal, and the morale would just have dipped completely.
Fulton with that clever left foot of his. Robertson, who's so foxy in these situations. Fulton's header! Hearts have got the goal! And Hibs are behind, and we've only had 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what Hibs were dreading, an early goal for Hearts, and a very well worked goal. John Robertson did well, Neil McCann's ball in, and an excellent header. Terrific supporting run there from Steve Fulton. This is what we like midfield players to do, to support the front, and Stephen Fulton did that and got his head on it.
Well, the number of runners into that area were very impressive.
Yes, indeed.
And it was Fulton who found the header, and Reid, only seconds after making such a splendid save, is beaten, and the favourites in this fixture are 1 goal in front very early on. And how will Hibs react to this? Long from McGinley.
Well, it's an old cliche, but it'll be a test of character now for Hibs, and they will have to really buckle down to get back into the game. And I see enthusiastic signs being given from the side of the pitch by Jim Duffy, but it'll be a difficult situation now. It's a difficult situation for Hibs.
What a year 1997 was for Jim Duffy. Only 6 league wins for Hibs, hoping for much better fortune in 1998. It hasn't got off to the sort of start that he would have wanted.
No, it hasn't. And I think if you're Jim Jeffries, what you say to your team is get out and get an early goal. And I'm sure they've responded magnificently. They've got the early goal, and Jim will have been hoping that that would be enough to knock the stuffing out of Hibs. But we'll see.
Too many goals, but was looking for an equaliser there. Ruse having problems with the bounce and with the proximity of the line to make sure that he did prevent what would have been a corner. Jackson. There's Crawford. Through the centre, Crawford wheeling and turning and keeping Hibs in possession. Dow's cross. Oh, that attempted clearance from Weir almost produced the sort of break that Hibs are desperately looking for. A ricochet off Crawford that dropped in around the goal area belonging to Gilles Rousset. Dennis has been testing his fitness in a series of reserve games, and Duffy falling upon his competitive instincts, which are very, very strong, to try and steady the Hearts ship, which is in danger of sinking without trace. Good pressure by Cameron on Jackson. Poynton, who captains Hearts these days. He's run into trouble, and Jackson coming on into the centre, having played it wide for Crawford. He tried to get the better of Ritchie, and might have done that, but there was some cover for Hearts. McCann stopped in his tracks. Now Harper.
Yeah, I thought Neil McCann was in the run there, Martin, and had he not been stopped, he was clear. But a fine tackle dispossessed him and got Hearts back into
Hibs only stayed in the top division last season by the skin of their teeth. That playoff success over Airdrie. There is some talk that the attempted revolution, Super League and all that might in Scotland spare the bottom club from going down. So many blueprints you read about. Nobody's quite sure, but it's an ongoing situation. Lock. Robertson touching it off to the goal scorer, Steve Fulton. He's got 4 forward ahead of him. Robertson looking for Fulton again. He's still going. Fulton, he's got another one. 10 minutes gone. 2-0. Steve Fulton scored them both.
Yeah, another
for Jim Jeffries.
Another tremendous example of going on ahead of the ball. And he got the break from Sean Dennis. It was a bit slack in Sean Dennis's part, but all credit to Steve Fulton. He took the chance, he gambled on going ahead of the ball, and the ball broke to him, and his left foot tucked it tidily away there.
Well, a great start to 98 for the midfield man who began with Celtic, didn't quite fall from Jim Hamilton, and then a great moment for Gary Naismith and a great goal. Both very well worked. The cross from David Weir. Great joy for Jim Jeffries and company as Hamilton steered it in at the far post. He's been in the thick of many things, Hamilton, in this first half. And then along came Gary Naismith with the volley. But our heart's going to be good enough to be able to produce a repeat performance tonight. But they were 2 goals down at half-time. Hamilton with the first, Naismith with the second. But St Johnstone fast out of the traps in the second half. And O'Boyle linking up beautifully with the promising Davidson. Davidson's goal. That was 2-1. Great movement by Tommy Wright, brought down by Davy McPherson. A penalty put away with some aplomb by O'Boyle. St Johnstone really back in business then. But Hearts found a winner. Hamilton, their hero, from a tight angle. They may be the real outsiders, but they're still very much in a 3-horse race for the title, and a pleasant